Tom Gozlowski here with you on 104.5 The Team and 104.5theteam.com, and joining us on the phone line. He's done it all in the wrestling business. And coming out January 8th, 2016, the release of a great movie, The Masked Saint, and he's going to be a part of it. Jeff Jarrett joins us on the phone lines. And Jeff, how did you get involved with this project involving The Masked Saint movie?
Well, first off, is it Tom or is it Goz? I like to go with nicknames. If it's
Everybody around here calls me Goz, so I would love for you to call me Goz, man.
and so you kicked Dubs out of the studio, is that correct?
That's exactly what just happened, man.
Good. No, I appreciate you having me on, and it's an exciting time of year. Obviously, coming off Christmas and heading into New Year's, and a lot's going on in Global Force Wrestling. We've got shows coming up in Poughkeepsie, New York, and Rahway, New Jersey, January 22nd, 23rd, respectively. But no, we are here today to talk about The Masked Saint. And it is about 6 or 9 months ago, this started off as basically just I'll call it a job. But as I've rolled into it and all the, I'll say, unique set of circumstances that's come about, that The Masked Saint is a faith-based movie, and it's based on a true story of a journeyman wrestler down in Florida who had a struggle getting out of wrestling and getting into pastoring, but he went on to pastor a mega church, and so the movie is very authentic in so many ways. But as circumstances would come about, Roddy Piper, this ends up being the last film that he did, and for all things that sort of came together and tied together, I don't believe in coincidences, only convergences. So, the untimely passing of Roddy, but I think it turns out it's really a unique set of circumstances in that Roddy was about the three things that really revolved around his life were his family first, wrestling, and then the movie business. And so all three are involved in this movie, and he plays the role of and I know, guys, this is a stretch for this. He plays the evil wrestling promoter in the movie. So Roddy had his experiences with evil wrestling promoters through the years. But, no, it's really cool. And Global Force Wrestling and me and Karen and everybody involved, we're the marketing arm to the wrestling world. And that's how the short answer, I'm long-winded, guys, but the short answer to your question is that's how we got involved, is that they produced the movie in 2014 up in Toronto. And then as they put it together, and this is, it's you don't have to be a wrestling fan. You don't even have to be a Roddy Piper fan. It's a great movie, sends a great message. And this time of year, it's pretty cool because it just gives off a really good vibe.
And Jeff, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. I look forward to seeing this when it comes out in just a few weeks. And you're in a unique perspective where you had a relationship with Roddy Piper. You did the things in the WCW, WWF at the time. What are some of your favorite Roddy Piper stories that we may not know about?
Oh, wow. I mean, he had a sense of authenticity about him. You didn't know Roddy was, he was a great guy, but, man, he could turn it on at the drop of a hat. The things that I remember probably the most fondly about, and it's nothing, it's not some hilarious moment, it's not some real intense moment, but, I was a fan of Roddy Piper long before I got to know Roddy, when he, really shot to stardom. In the early days of WrestleMania, I was a fan of, the Piper's Pit. And then as we got to know each other and know each other behind the scenes and work together and become friends, Roddy always started his conversation with, "Hey, how's your pop?" Or "How's your grandma?" Because my grandmother was a promoter in the professional wrestling business for years and years. So he always started the conversation, and most of the time ended it by telling me to tell one of them hello. He was a family guy. He loved his family first and foremost, and that's the kind of thing that when you get right down to the core of who Roddy Piper is. Yes, he's a legendary. I don't think he gets enough credit for the role he plays, not just in the WWE history, but in professional wrestling history, taking it into the mainstream. And then he was a great actor and had a passion for that. But above all that, a great family man.
It's going to be a fantastic movie. Make sure you check it out. The Masked Saint. It's going to be released on January 8th, 2016. Jeff Jarrett joins us on the phone lines here on 104.5 The Team and 104.5theteam.com. Jeff Jarrett is the founder and CEO of Global Force Wrestling, which will have a live show not too far away from here in Albany, about 30 minutes away from us here in Schenectady on January 22nd. Make sure to get your tickets on globalforcewrestling.com. Jeff, what can the fans here in the Capital Region hope for in a Global Wrestling live show?
first and foremost, when we come to Poughkeepsie at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center on January 22nd, you can get your tickets right now at Ticketmaster, is that we offer everyone, and this is how, whether you're a sports fan or an entertainment fan or a little bit in between, we offer the VIP experience to everyone, not just the front 2 rows, 3 rows, or whatever it may be. For an upcharge of only $25, you get in the doors an hour before the general public gets in. We're going to have a unique set of circumstances as we kick off. We're going to have not just the VIP meet and greets, and you get autographs and pictures and all that kind of stuff, and get a chance to talk to your favorite global wrestling stars. But we're going to have an open forum Q&A hosted by guys that are in the region that do another wrestling podcast. So we're going to have sort of a live podcast, which is pretty cool. And then a great night of action. It's hard-hitting action, and when you come to a Global Force Wrestling show, you're going to see different styles, whether it's a lucha libre or strong style or European style. But we'd like to bring different styles of wrestling under one umbrella. So not only you're going to see great bell-to-bell action, but you have great VIP access as well if you so choose.
And, Jeff, you've been doing the promotion business for a while now, but I always wonder, for a guy like you, what do you have more fun doing, the promotion side of it, or when you were back in the ring as an in-ring performer? What do you get more joy out of doing?
Well, there's only one opponent in the world that's undefeated, and everybody that's lined up against Father Time has lost. This coming April 6th will be my 30th year in the business.
Wow.
So obviously, as a younger man, it's something that wrestling bell to bell is I'll call it my first true love. But when you take a step back, before I started wrestling, I helped my grandmother and helped my father. Anything I could do to help promote shows. They were both promoters, and whether it's setting up a ring or selling concession stands or programs or helping promote a town, so I did that. And so I've got to wear multiple hats. I've been blessed, very blessed throughout my career to have the opportunity to sort of look at the business from multiple prisms and multiple aspects. So it's something I really enjoy, and at this stage, I love promoting more than wrestling, but I am going to be wrestling on the 22nd in Poughkeepsie. And so for any old school Double J fans that might remember, that's actually the very first place that I wrestled as Double J on Monday Night Raw was the Mid-Hudson Civic Center. So it's a sort of a coming home sorts for myself as well.
Jeff Jarrett joins us here on the phone lines on 104.5, the team at 104.5theteam.com. And again, that show, January 22nd, Global Force Wrestling here in Schenectady, New York. And, Jeff, you touched on the younger Double J, Jeff Jarrett. The WWE Network is out, and I'm wondering that, have you went back maybe into the WWE Network and watched some old matches of Double J and thought, man, I should have done this better. Man, I was really good right here. What has that been able for you to go back and watch kind of the younger Double J in the ring? Have you done that before?
I haven't. I've seen clips on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. I have really enjoyed the opportunity, and I think it's great that, a wrestling fan today, as opposed to 10 years ago, really was you only got the opportunity to see the current programming and whatever was on. Nowadays, a wrestling fan at a young age can click on the network or YouTube, and you see so many different styles and so many different characters and the evolution of our great industry and just how it's progressed and where it's been and where it's going and where it's at right now. And so, back in the day, I was a big tape study guy of myself. I would go, always record and want to watch, like film study for any athlete. But, there's nothing I can do that happened 20 years ago now. So I don't do that, but I do enjoy the comments, and sometimes guys put clips on, and fans will, and they'll enjoy it, or they'll tweet something to myself and say, right now I'm watching Jeff Jarrett versus Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart or whatever, and it's pretty cool to see the fan base so in tune with the history of wrestling.
Jeff, you've covered the wrestling business across the world. Right now, late 2015, heading into 2016, who are you a fan of? Who are you looking at and saying, boy, he's outstanding, he's a solid in-ring performer?
Well, I mean, you've got to look at right at our champions. And I'm something that is sort of a deep passion that I've always had from the days of when I founded TNA. Is I love getting guys that hadn't had the national stage or now international stage, and really give them an opportunity. And Nick Aldis had success at TNA, and we're ready to take him to a whole nother level. He's a guy that, he's only 29, just turning 30, and he's got all the raw materials, and he's so good and just continues to get better day in and day out. And then young kids like the Bollywood boys from Western Canada who just needed a break, but they've got a passion like none other. And that's the Global Force guys. And then I could go on and talk about the Bullet Club of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And there's so much talent in AAA, which is based out of Mexico City. And then there's the European scene right now, guys. It's probably as hot as I've ever seen it. And there's wrestling over there. 4 or 5 shows every Friday and Saturday night all across the UK and Germany and the Netherlands and just everywhere. So it's a cool time to be in the business because we're all connected as a fan base that we get on our phones and watch clips of matches literally from all over the world.
They know if I keep you on longer, I could be on the phone with you, Double J, for about an hour, but I have to let you go. I know you got a busy day. The Masked Saint comes out January 8th, 2016. And again, Global Force Wrestling will be here in the Capital Region January 22nd. Jeff Jarrett. Jeff, thank you so much for the time. Look forward to the show next month, and take care.
Guys, I appreciate your time. You hit all the points. Masked Saint, Roddy Piper's last film, and Happy New Year, and tell Dubs not to take it on the chin so many times.
Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. We're done taping. That was awesome. I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting you next month. Take care.
Love it, man. Appreciate it. Happy New Year.
See you.